Live stream is beginning. It's setting it up. Are we live yet? It's getting there. We are live on the YouTubes.
We're live.
We are live. We are alive here on the YouTubes. Hi. This is James Meeting Spotlight and Recap. I'm James Lott Jr., one of your hosts. You see, the person you're seeing also on the screen is Mr. Frank Moran.
Yes. Freshly shorn.
Freshly shorn. I like it.
There you go.
I like the hair. I like the hair. I love that. I still love the beard. I love it. Love the beard.
Yeah. You know, I need to get it professionally taken care of, but it's not a possibility at this time. So
right, because of that's too up close. That's too up close. Yeah, I know. I've been trying to do some stuff and like, oh well. Oh, I miss having everything done for me. I miss having that.
Yeah, I've never had a beard before, so trying to take care of it myself has been searching YouTube videos. Like, how do you groom a beard? And there's a lot of steps that they skip in those processes.
Wait, this is your first time actually really having a full beard?
Yes.
Did you know you could grow one until now?
No, I didn't, and I still don't think. I think the jury's still out if I can still do it or not.
You did. No, you did. It's a beard.
I didn't.
No, you did do it. No, it's a beard. Seriously, it's a beard. I mean, like some folks can't grow a beard. I can grow a beard, and I just choose not to.
Congratulations, Frank. It's a beard. It's a beard.
It's a beard. It's a beard. Yes, it is. It looks good, Frank. I don't think it looks good. Okay, very good. Hi, everybody. Welcome. This is here on JLJ Media, where I have over 30 shows to choose from. Today is the last of the caboose of the soap block. I did every single show today, and I am tired. I did the Wide Army Spotlight earlier on, where I was chasing a horsefly that was flying in front of me while I was live on the air. That's a trip. So you want to see that? You want to see that action? Go ahead and watch that. Bo Beautiful. We're all wearing blonde wigs. Meet Tammy Govea and Amanda Russ, and that's out right now. And Catherine Kelly Lang stops through. Yes, the queen of Bold and Beautiful stopped through. So watch that on JLJ Media. Daytime Today with Tammy Govea and Candace Mack is out. All your daytime news. That's also out on JLJ Media. I just did Dishin' Days. It's the 55th anniversary of Days of Our Lives today.
Wow.
Isn't that crazy? And I got to meet and talk to Ron Cavalardi, who is the head writer of Days of Our Lives, who was the head writer of General Hospital, who was the head writer of One Life to Live. So I had a chance. It was a great conversation with Frank. He told me, he almost spilled some beans, but I thanked him for Wally Kurth for being on both shows.
Yes.
The time jump that happened, how ballsy that was. But he gave, well, actually, you guys want to know insight. It's the second hour of the show. The show's 2 hours. Dishin' Days is 2 hours long. The second hour is him, and he literally gives you insight to writing. And he mentions Wanting to Live. He mentions General Hospital. He mentions how he writes, what he writes. I asked him the question, what it's like to write for obscure characters versus known characters. He talks about that. I mean, he really breaks down the writing process and what he thinks about fans. So, Dishin' Days. It was different.
Without going into all the details for that, I mean, I certainly want fans to go and watch that.
Yeah.
Is he just overall? Do they listen to fans in terms of storylines, or does that really play a factor?
It does and doesn't. He said he can't because he knows he can't please everybody. I mean, for 10 fans who say I love Carly and Sonny, 10 fans say I love Carly and Jax, and 10 fans say they want Carly with someone new. Like you can't listen to everybody. That's the problem.
But I gotta imagine that there are some storylines, like for example on GH, like the Man Landers storyline, terrible storyline, where I would have to think it has to be like 90-10 people who love that storyline and people who hate that. Where I can imagine every so often there's got to be a storyline where the public outcry is so against it that they realize, all right, we gotta cut bait on.
Yes, he talks about that a little bit too. So you guys have to watch the show for that. I'm on there also. I'm wearing a nice little Stefano Demira t-shirt, so you'll see.
And of course, he said he's getting rid of Wally Kurth and just sending him to GH full time.
I know, but he likes having him on there. So
damn it!
I know. I also want to give a shout out to happy 15th anniversary to Laura Wright. She's the fourth Carly, 15 years, Frank. That's Carly.
Hey. I mean, I feel like you can't help it if you hear Carly. Well, I mean, sort of there was Sarah Brown, but I mean, who originated it. But I feel like if you say Carly, my mind just goes right to Laura Wright.
It does. And it's fun. It's fun. You guys in the chat room, hello everybody in the chat who's coming in. What do you guys do? When you think of Carly automatically, which Carly comes to mind for you? That's a great question because for me, it's weird because it is. I mean, Tamara Braun was good too. She was in between them. But I do think of Laura Wright now, but sometimes I think of Sarah Joy Brown. So I do kind of go back and forth. Now, since I've met Sarah Joy Brown and interviewed her, and she was great, I'm like, I go back and forth. So immediate Cardies, you guys. What do you guys think automatically? But Laura Wright, I mean, she won the Emmy for it, and she's been in for so long. I mean, they're all so different too. It's so funny. They're all different, but they all inhabit Carly.
Yeah.
That's Carly, but they're also different.
That was nice during the long pandemic when they were repeating episodes. When they did replay that one episode where all three actresses step in as Carly.
Yes.
I thought that was cool.
That was a great thing that actually worked. It could have been totally cheese or whatever, but it completely worked. It was like, oh, here he is with each of them. Not the third Carly, of course.
No, whoops, the one we never speak of.
No, the one whose name should not be mentioned. Yes, exactly. A lot of them 1, 2. Well, everybody say 1, 2, and 4. Yeah, the third one. I want to go the third one. Yes. Also, on a sad note, rest in peace, Alex Trebek.
Yeah, that was. I mean, certainly everybody knew he was sick, but wow, this was. I mean, at least it felt like he was putting up a good fight, and it wasn't going to happen so suddenly like this.
Was that weird? We all said the same thing. It's like you just said everything. I like we knew it was. I mean, is inoperable. It was stage 4. Like we knew at some point, but he just kept going and going. And am I correct? Did they just air the last Jeopardy yesterday or this weekend?
I guess. I mean, they were filming, right? So it's That's
very interesting. So recipes to him and his family. For the hosting world, it's a big loss, and for the world in general, it's a big loss. But I mean, that's us hosts. He was one of the best. I mean, literally one of the best.
And it's going to be interesting to see what that show is going to be like. Who they tap to fill into those.
People say they can't redo it. So they can. You can get another host in there. I mean, it may take some time, just kind of like but those game shows like that, they go on. They go on. People's Court. Oh, they all go on at some point. I mean,
yeah. I mean, I'm sure that they could try like Price is Right after Barker retired, where they just kind of did a round robin for a while before they settled on Drew Carey. So they could do that.
Yeah. Side note, speaking of game shows, James Lott Jr. just did Let's Make a Deal with Wayne Brady on Wednesday. So I am dressed as a taco, and I did get picked to play. But you'll have to watch on January 6, 2021 to see what happens to James Lott Jr. and what Wayne Brady made me do on live television.
Oh, you can do that in public? Oh, wow.
I'm 51, need the money. No. Yes, so I completely I did this. I did Let's Make a Deal. It was my first time on a set in 8 months.
What? So you actually went to the studio? They shot it?
Oh yeah. So
wow,
Frank,
awesome.
So at Satacoy Studios in Van Nuys, I live nowhere near Van Nuys. It was like 10 years to get there. They actually had us in pods outside, and then we were brought. They did 3 shows a day. Then they brought us in and had us with no audience. Normally it's 150 people there. There's no audience. They had pods for each of us. I'm in the front. They sat me down in the front behind him on the stage, and it was a very well-oiled machine. People are in, out, mask on, mask off, mask on, mask off. We got tested 2 days before that, took our temperature on our way in. Everything was cleaned down every 5 seconds. It was a very well-oiled machine, and we had to clap so much that my hands hurt.
Wow. So how long did your show take to tape?
I was there 4 hours total. It took an hour and a half to tape.
Wow, man.
But
that's awesome.
To be on set though, after all this time, it felt so. The smell of the set, everything, it just felt so. Seeing the facades behind it, it felt like I'm home. I'm fucking home.
Now, how's Wayne Brady when the camera's off? Is he
hilarious? Oh, he's so nice. So nice. We're the same age. We found we're the exact same age. He references me later in the show too.
Oh,
he was very nice to the audience. He talked to us, very sweet, quick on his feet. He can do anything. He's so good.
Did he sing to you? Be honest.
He did sing, not to me, but he did sing. He sang in between things. So they play songs in between to get us hyped up, and he would sing. He would have sing the song and then like making up his own words.
Wow. So everybody that was in the audience were people that played the game, or
Yep.
Oh, that's cool. All right. So it's you don't need any of those extra.
So I would say almost all of us played.
Okay.
There was a couple who did.
Wow.
Fun. Everybody, it's fun. It's fun seeing the tricks of the train. It was so much fun. It was so much fun.
Yeah. Now January 6th it's gonna be a long wait.
Long wait, folks. That's what they do it. So did I win something? I may have not. I don't know. You have to watch the show to see what happens to me. Yes. And congratulations to our new president and vice president elect. Just want to make sure I say that.
Yep, there you go. Yes.
And yes, folks, I will let you guys know when it comes up closer. Sorry, yes, that's what I can say, because everybody's some folks are happy, some aren't, but we're in a new direction, like a new world. It's windy in Los Angeles. My whole garden's destroyed right now, so I have to deal with that tomorrow, I'm sure. And not to roll all my plants. It was so windy here. It was like everything over. Shoot. So we're here to talk about, I'll let you guys know when it comes out for sure. I mean, trust me, I'm the king of plugs. I'll make sure everybody knows when it's coming out.
James keeps that stuff pretty much on the down low. So
right, close to the vest. I don't really trouble myself very much. Have you guys met me? Like, have you met me? I've been doing this for 6 years. You guys met me? Let you guys know for sure, but it's a lot of fun. Okay, so General Hospital. We before we get into the 4 days that were actually actual episodes of new material, we're gonna start with the Monday episode, and there's a lot of flack for it because it had to do with the 100th anniversary of the suffrage movement for women being able to vote, and how ironic our vice president elect is a woman, first time, and a Black and South Asian woman. Should I say correctly? Black and South Asian woman. But here's the thing. I loved it. There are folks who hated it. I don't know why they hated it. I thought it was kind of an interesting thing. I love the credits where it was all the women actors. The credits, the attention to detail. I thought it was fine. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, it comes into me, and certainly it's well an episode. I mean, it's all women in front and behind the camera. Great. Yeah. Fantastic. But, it doesn't matter. It could have been an all Wally Kurth special, one-off, or Tristan Rogers, the man, the myth, the legend, whatever. I'm not going to care about it because I'm a fan of any one-off episodes. I just, it doesn't matter what it is, no matter how much of my wheelhouse or out of my wheelhouse. I
don't like that. I don't think you ever like them. You don't ever care for them. That's true.
Yes. So for me, I was just like, great. You can admire the technical proficiency and all the great stuff that happened in the episode, but for me overall, like, I don't care. I just don't care.
See, Frank's dead inside. I know some of you guys said you liked it. You thought it was good, a good flashback. I thought the little Trina and Joss's excellent adventure. It had a little cheese in it, but other than that, I thought it was fine. I thought for girls who watch these shows and old women who watch them, this is something for them. It's for you guys, for the women's.
Sure.
Man, so I just want to say, that was unexpected. They're going to do something like that. I mean, why not? But why not, I guess, I'm sure for the actors it was fun. I'm sure they had a good time doing it.
Yeah, I mean, I guess they must all appreciate the opportunity to kind of play something other than the usual stuff they're getting to play, a different character, step outside of the usual grind that GH can be at times. Yeah. But yeah, for me, as soon as I heard, all you had to hear was like a very special episode. Boom, out. See you later.
Michael B's all, do you need a history lesson? I just want a story to move forward. And Moran Wall says, Frank, why do you hate women? LOL. Oh, yes. He doesn't hate women. Say like that. So.
It doesn't matter who it would have been about. As I said, could have been, anybody. I feel the same way every time. Well,
that's hilarious. So anyway, just talking about Beatrice Eckert, the whole Barrington name was on there. So there's some fun stuff in there, the time candle. Okay, so now let's get into the shows. And I don't even know where to begin because a lot of different things went on this week. It was kind of like a busy week of all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
All kind of centered around Cyrus on some level, right? So I was and Alex. Those like the two. Those two were just kind of the whole Alex stuff. So I went through the Alex stuff because I feel like there's some things with that story that were just ridiculous. But I like the second half of the week. The first half, the way they introduced Alex, now she just slowly walks up to Anna and knocks her. I mean, Anna's like, Frank, come on. Tell me, Frank, come on.
It is frustrating that every time that we have Anna run into Alex, it is always I get knocked out and I get subdued. That's the first beat all the time, and it's tiresome.
I don't get it. I'm like, you're Alex. Anna, you're like this agent, is this legend, and she literally like walked up to her slowly. It was like, ugh, and that was it. You were tied up. I mean, you were down in the basement. And then Valentine, it's like, never. Tony Moran today's always makes this joke. If I ever hear something crazy, I will never turn my back. Like, make sure you're like looking both ways. Like, it's how do you turn your back? Anna, is that you?
Oh, that killed me. It's like, why would you ask that question? You would just open the door and check it out. Oh, no, Valentine, it's not me. It's okay.
Yeah, right. I was like, oh my goodness. At least I will give Finn credit later when he was like on the phone with Anna and Alex walked in, he was just like, uh-huh. And then dumb Maxie, what are you talking about? Why are you telling me to get like, oh my God. I'm like, oh my goodness. I was like, Finn was quick. He was like, you gotta get out of here. You gotta go. If someone's telling you, you're from Port Charles, bitch, you should know if somebody's telling you that something wrong.
Yes, it's just like, you've been your uncle, your quasi father was chief of police, still in the police. Your mom and your dad have gone on all sorts of adventures. Your dad's in the WSB. Yeah, your ex-husband is a cop and who's dead. So crazy things happen. Just go.
Hello. I was like, everybody's agreeing with the chat. I know it was just kind of like, so the setup part got on my nerves. I mean, there are parts of it I liked. I mean, but there are parts of it just like, really, I'm gonna make everybody just dumb, I guess. I did like the parts where her interaction with Peter, because Peter was confused because she wasn't being herself. So I thought that was interesting. He started responding to her like, I mean, like, what? Like, it was like he was just all you see all. I mean, trust you guys know how much I hate Peter. Trust me. But that was the first time I kind of like, that was interesting. Okay, you see where he's kind of looking to mommy for something.
No, that's true. Where you can kind of see him kind of start to, you've never talked to me this way. You're describing something inside. That's all right. Okay.
I'll give that.
The other part that drove me crazy though is that once Anna and Valentine escape the basement and they come out, and of course Alex gets a drop on him. But it was so frustrating to think that like Anna, that's what I admire about Stone Cold, about Jason, is when they write him and he's got a gun and he comes in on somebody, that gun gets fired immediately. There's no hesitation. There's no like, oh, let's just talk about it. And I was just waiting for Anna. You're not going to kill Alex, but you can sure as heck shoot her in a way that she's going to drop and let go of Valentine, and she doesn't. And that was frustrating. It's like, come on, Anna, come on.
It's like, I mean, I get the twin versus twin thing. Like, I have no problem with that. I mean, you want to showdown. I get all that kind of stuff. But yeah, the whole setup just made everybody look dumb. Everybody just seemed dumb to get there. Also, I don't know if you agree with this. I think they're trying to get Valentine and Anna together, I guess. Is that we're leaning towards?
I'd be down for that because I'm really fine with taking a break from Nina, and if it happens a couple years down the road, it circles back to that. Like if Jax's relationship blows up with her, and Valentine and Anna kind of blow up, and they find their way back together. Okay, fine, but it's nice. I'd like to rest it for a while. So this is a good distraction.
Well, we saw glimpses of Peter's evil when he threatened Spinelli. Which was very interesting. Okay, tell it, Frank. What's going on, Frank?
But I'm also frustrated because he listened to nothing that Valentine had to say. It just said, play it cool. Cut to, I'm not playing cool. I'm getting all up in your face. Like, way to go, Valentine. Way to go. All right. But, for a scene, it was interesting. How do you, to be as intimidating as you can be without, laying your hands on somebody.
Well, I felt like, Valentine was kind of like trying to warn Peter, like, remember, he's tied to Jason and that whole thing. So, like, tread carefully. Because, like you said, Jason will kill you. So you don't care. But Peter couldn't help himself. He just couldn't help himself. And Spinelli, I mean, Bradford Anderson played him so well. I mean, it just kind of like he was a little nervous there. Like, this man, you crazy. He may do something to me. But he loves Maxie so much. And he just knows this guy is so bad that he's just like, he wants to stand up to him, of course. But Peter just like let it all out. He didn't follow anybody's advice. He's just like, I know what you're doing. I mean, I love that Valentine was smart and he figured it out. I thought that was kind of cool for a change. I mean, that don't happen on soaps.
Yeah. I do appreciate when Valentine can be smart and put something together, and it's not necessarily his storyline, but he's just there as a support to Peter and can put two and two together for him. So I did like that. And I did like at least the scene of acknowledging what at least I for sure, and I'm sure many people have, that frustration you feel with Spinelli, how he acts in scenes, where Robert and Jason are having that scene later on in the week. And it's like, what's going on with your boy? He's crazy. He can't keep it together at all.
Yes.
So I'm like, yes, thank you, Robert, for calling out everything that I've been feeling about.
Right. I mean, but that's Spinelli's character. He's supposed to be kind of spastic and just like impulsive, kind of. Yet he's this hacker. Like he's smart, but he's not smart. Like it's like, or he's book smart, but not street smart. That's what I guess what Spinelli's supposed to be. Even though Spinelli's supposed to be like what, he's probably like 40 years old at this point. But when he first started, it was kind of like that was. I wish it could have matured with him. I mean, they could have matured him a little bit, but they just they haven't done that.
And how did you feel? Because certainly the plan, which you kind of figured it out, was Spinelli and Sam, their initial plan of trying to convince them that Helena's still alive.
I loved it.
I thought it was great, but just even hearing, Constance Tower come in and be Helena, just like, man, all right, there is a vacuum on the show that she could easily fill if they wanted to bring her back for real.
Definitely, yes. And I thought, wow, for a change, we actually have Sam and Spinelli doing something with a PI for her. Like they're doing. I don't know about you, Frank, but I've been noticing that they don't have Jason and Sam together anymore. Really, they're in separate scenes, and I kind of like it.
I absolutely love it, and I felt like really this week you really started to. I mean, we see Stone Cold flirting with Britt at the school. I was like, I am absolutely down
completely.
With you splitting them up
completely.
Yeah,
I was like, there's chemistry there. I never saw chemistry. I'm like that whole pool thing, and that's Jason's thing, pool table. It was good, but see again. Like she knows, like there's no bull crap going on between them two. They're basically being themselves. Like she knows who she is. She's like, I don't want to get involved. I mean, I got hired. I want to be in charge. That's so Brit. She wants the status and stature. She's not looking into what Cyrus is doing. But Stone Cold's kind of like, I have a mission. So it's kind of it's all. Did I say mission? Oh my God, Dante. But anyway, but there was Stone Cold is so Stone Cold. His scene with Lulu just telling like, just don't do this, blah blah blah. Of course, Lulu won't listen. Of course, the way he just talks to everybody. When he talked to Britt that way, she was kind of like, okay. She's like, okay.
And there's something. It's not a 1-to-1 comparison, but there are Carly-esque traits to Britt that you could see, the girl that does have like maybe a heart deep inside, but she still does bad for whatever reason, but there is still a little bit of heart inside her that, if nurtured properly, can be brought out. And so I feel like I could see that is a dynamic, a Carly-esque dynamic that she could have with Jason, but it could turn into a romance.
Yeah, and I they're age appropriate. They look good together. I'm all in. We mentioned Kelly Thibault on the Days of Our Lives thing today and why she had to leave Days of Our Lives. Because they cast her on there and she was good, and then she had to leave middle of the road. So, and now she got back to General Hospital. So there's a little talk on that too.
And her bangs was grown out, so that's good.
Oh my God, they're so much better. Those bangs were getting on my nerves. I'm sorry, folks. Yes, Kelly. I'm trying to work on getting Steve Burton on the show again. He was on my show a couple of years ago. I don't know Brad Adams. I'll see if I can get him on the show too. I don't know. Yes, Lulu is supposed to leave. Ellie Ryland's leaving, so I don't know what's.
She is.
Yep, announced that she's supposed to be leaving. So I don't know what's that means. Going to recast Lulu or tie the character. I don't know.
I feel like you got to recast the character. I think.
Yes, I think so too. Because it's
Because I think it would be weird to bring back Dante for this, because either then Dante just goes off. So
it's funny seeing them talk again. I was just like, I don't want them together. I don't know. Like, I mean, Dante with his beard. Speaking of beards,
there you go.
He has the mission. Frank, he has the mission. So I don't know. I mean, I like him back on the canvas. I like him. Actually, I like the guy who plays him and everything. I like him, but I was just like, the character Lulu needs a big overhaul. Maybe we've talked about it on the show many times. She needs to get more Spencer-esque. That's annoying. I don't think it's the action. I think it's just the way they're writing her.
Yeah. And it was frustrating, that scene with her and Peter inside the floating rib where Peter wants to check out the story. And she goes, oh, well, I talked to Jackie and this is kind of what we're doing. And he's like, I can get sued. So no, I can't run this story like this. Right. She's like, oh, but you can't? Like, come on, Lulu. Why are you being so dumb in this? How about the hospital? It's like a Spencer knows the angles, and they know how to put the angles, and then they know when to push and when you can't push.
And they always made it seem like her lucky had traits of both their parents. And so I'm like, I'm not seeing that with her. I'm just not seeing it. I just see it.
No.
I don't see it. And I think her as a reporter just bugs anyway. It's just always bugs anyway. She's not good. But maybe they'll write it better. I don't know. I mean, let me say, I have no faith in them. I hope the writers do something better with her, because I think the character of Lulu can be very important, and she's tied to a lot of people. And it's weird because we have no Laura. Laura's not back on yet, so we have that still floating out there.
Yeah, I mean,
Kevin,
yeah, which is it's for whatever Jeannie Francis has going on in her personal life, that the stars on the line, but it definitely is a noticeable absence of not having her around, because
it is. They fought so hard to get her back. So it's like it must be something going. I think it's something going on. I don't think it's something going on. She's already Spencer there, right? Yeah, she's always there.
Because I feel like when Lulu was kind of running the Haunted Star, back before Emily played her, I mean, I felt like then you could dial more into the Spencer traits, but once you take that kind of out of it, I guess you're at a loss of like what to do with Lulu.
Julian Marie Berman, who won 2 Emmys for playing her, was the ball. I loved her, but it was the writing. They wrote her very much like a mixture between her parents. They did such a great job. So I don't know. I mean, the Spencers aren't on the show anymore. Really, there's not really any Spencers left. There's a few, but I mean,
which is a shame, because I feel like all these little families, whether it be the Cassadines, the Quartermains, General Hospital itself as a character, and all the people that work within it, the Spencers. I feel like the show works best when you've got all these families kind of, or these sections built up equally, and you're able to fire off in between them.
John in chat says Jeannie is back filming. We'll be on screen in November, so I guess we'll see.
Great. No, that'll be nice. Because I mean, it was what I did like was just last week, they were even seeing the scenes just between Kevin and Anna, where it was finally like Anna could just drop the pretense and just talk about what's really going on. I love those scenes between the two of them, and that was great. So Kevin definitely has a function to serve in this show. I mean, I know he got written for a lot during the earlier Kevin and Ryan stuff that happened last year, which is all great. So, I mean, I can understand if like, all right, we got to shine the spotlight on other people.
Yeah, but, true.
Still, don't forget him. Don't forget him.
Yeah, don't forget him. Now, you just mentioned Ryan, Kevin. So we weren't on, this last week because I was taking a vacation, needed vacation. So we did have they got around to Sonny.
Yes.
I got this. So that was really interesting to bring Sonny into this, and Sonny talking to Ava, and then him going to talk to Ryan. You never see them together. So it's just a weird, interesting dynamic to see Sonny with Ryan, and how Sonny, his usual sunniness. Just like cut to the chase, get to the point. Like he's like, you don't play around. And Ryan likes to play games. Just seeing their acting styles was very, with John Lindstrom and with Maurice Bernard, was very interesting.
Yeah, I mean, that scene was frustrating. I mean, yes, I guess you want to draw out the drama, but it was frustrating because that scene just served to exist as a tease. To tease you like, is Julian going to get caught finally? No, not really. We're just going to draw this out. So that scene became interminable because you're just like, he's never going to get to it. He's never going to say what it is. But the knife in the back was a nice little punctuation to that scene.
It was. I was surprised. He obviously just went, and I was like, oh, okay. But he ain't dead.
No. That's what I love about Ryan. You could do a bunch of stuff to Ryan, and it keeps going.
Is this his second time being stabbed in the back? I mean, like.
Well, I mean, yeah, because Ava stabbed him. It didn't go. But what I like about it is how fast. I mean, I'll give it up for Cyrus. He makes things happen quickly. So when Julian made that deal with them, I mean, it was lickety split that night.
It sure was. He wasn't joking. He was not joking. He was like, okay, I'll take care of that. Thank you. So now homeboy is quiet. Not saying that because he might be a vegetable or whatever. But still, you guys, and on Friday we got Jason taking, homeboy in. So and Ava going, oh my God, I mean, it's kind of, yeah.
I do like seeing the walls closing in on Julian.
I'm gonna say that, yes.
Yes, and just the Cyrus move makes sense for him if he's trapped and he's just looking for any way out. Not the smart move, but just a move to try to get him some distance. But the fact that now Cyrus knows it as well, not a great person to know the secret as well, because that you're giving him all the leverage over you.
Yeah, and if folks out there, there have been some cryptic tweets from William Jerome, who plays Julian, that his time is done with General Hospital.
Do you? Because I tried to look through those tweets after our last episode, and I couldn't really tell like anything like, all right, this is like him saying, you know, I mean, I know he said like things in past tense, I guess.
You didn't see this week when he posted goodbye. He was doing all these songs. He showed the General outside General.
I didn't look at this week. So
this week, I mean, he stepped it up. So I don't know what that, because they film a few weeks in advance. I do not know. I don't know. So that's the rumor that he's out.
But you know, for me, I'm off. I mean, as much as you don't want to see somebody losing a job, you know, there are characters that I feel you could only go to them slipping through the cracks so many times before it loses all, you know, believability. And so I feel like they boxed Julian in such a way that it's like, I don't know how you could let him keep getting away. Maybe the best thing to do is kill him.
Like you said on a show once before, he will never win.
Yes.
Sonny. They set up so much that he always under Sonny's thumb. Like he will never exceed. So he's just a sad character that can't really grow, and his kids don't like him. You're right. They wrote him. Here's a guy who could act, who's great and everything, and they really wrote him into a corner. And they continually wrote him into a corner that he can't even get out of the corner.
And I don't know, like, if they do kill him off, because especially the scenes with him and Alexis, when she's like, I hope I never see you again. I'm like, you're really hanging a lantern on her going crazy. Like, those are the last words I ever said to him. And now he's dead. So I'm really not going to buy many of those scenes from Sam, even if they bring back
Lucas.
Yeah, Lucas or Alexis going, oh, I should have given him a chance. Like, no, guys, no, you didn't. It's fine. Now, one question I have for you is that we saw your boy, what's his name? Trina's mom. Trina's mom.
Portia and Curtis.
Not Portia and Curtis. I'm sorry. Taggart. I'm sorry.
Taggart. Yes, Taggart. He's on again.
So he comes by and talks with Sonny, and Sonny dropped this. And I don't know how you feel about this, where he thought that sure Ava killed Trina or Ava killed Connie. And I did like, I don't know if he told Taggart about it. And then I had sex with her inside a crypt and she got pregnant. I don't know if he probably skipped over that part of the story.
Yeah.
But now he says that after everything that Ava went through with Ryan, like he has a better relationship. He felt like the scales were balanced. Do you buy that?
For him, yeah, I think so. Yeah, remember Sonny has this weird code. He has a soft spot for women. People always think that would be, he really does. And I always say the mothers are his children, everything he always holds in a different regard. I feel like with her losing Kiki to Ryan and all that is he sees it as payback on some level, I think.
Okay.
I think she really did suffer. I mean, he saw that she suffered. And that he's terrorizing her, that he's doing all this stuff to her, I think he sees it as like, yeah, whatever I do to her, he did worse. Like, so it's kind of like, that could end her life, but that's, but that hurt Avery, but that's kind of like, Ryan took away her daughter and did all this stuff. And it's kind of like, and she was there for him. It's kind of when Mike was sick and that kind of stuff. I mean, she kind of turned around. So, I mean, I think they can't just understanding. They're much more civil. He doesn't trust her completely, but when he was talking to Taggart, I thought, that actually makes sense. In Sonny's mind, that makes sense to me.
Okay.
That he thinks that she kind of got hers kind of anyway. Yes, that she's suffering too, and she didn't get away scot-free. Yeah, Taggart like, she should be in jail. She should be in jail. I mean, he's just like,
no, that's true. And he said, well, yeah, I did like Sonny's come back to that. It didn't happen to your family. I'm sure you would think differently if it happened to yours.
Yes.
And it is nice to at least have a different level to the Sonny, Ava, Carly relationship where it was so antagonistic for so long that it's just, at least if it's less so, at least it's a different color to that. And I'm fine with that.
Yeah, I agree with that too. And I think, but also just seeing Taggart and Sonny frenemies, I guess they are right now, because they have a common enemy, which I think always makes it interesting when you come together for a common enemy. The enemy of my enemy is my friend, that kind of thing. It's like I kind of understand that. It doesn't seem forced. I like it. I think it's very cool that they're kind of begrudgingly kind of finding common ground. And now he's next door at Connie's house, that kind of thing. And they made jokes about that kind of. It's kind of like this whole thing. It's like, okay, Okay, that works for me. It doesn't seem contrived or anything. I can see that.
I do like that they're keeping Taggart around, even though he's kind of faking dead. So he's going to be around for whenever all this stuff blows up. And it was interesting how now Ava is figuring out that Taggart is still alive, but what's the deal? So yeah, does she keep it to herself? Does she tell Trina? I'd be curious.
Because when she said it's not fair, because Ava does care about Trina. She like really cares about her, and she sees what Trina's going through, and her dad's actually alive. Like it's there, and I love that Sonya's like, I gotta tell Carly. I mean, you live next door. I gotta tell her. It's like, in a way, he's right. Everybody, but you made the mistake of going there, and Julian. It's just this all this stuff. I mean, it's the secrets always come out in the wash. We know that it always comes out. These ideas never work. They never work. Never. So why am I surprised? Like, well, I don't know what's going on. That's just really crazy. I don't understand. That's the point. It never works. It never works.
Well, to jump back before we move forward to Peter, one thing I meant to ask you was that because with Peter, I feel like, does it seem to you that his cover-up about being honest about his involvement with the original Jason Drew thing has been way worse? That if he had come out just when it was revealed and said, oh yeah, I was involved with Jason and Drew's thing initially, I would think that people would have forgiven him at that moment. But the fact that it's dragged out for this long and he's had to do so many things to kind of keep it quiet, that's what's going to ultimately be the thing that ends up blowing up in his face, it seems like. If he would have just came clean, don't you think?
Yeah, well, that's the easy part, right? That's what he should have did.
Yeah.
But they didn't. So now it's like, it's compounded. Almost like in real life, saying you don't tell, you tell truth at first, it's fine. But the longer the secret stays, it makes it worse. And I agree with you. Everything you just said, I agree with. I think it could have been, because in a way, he wasn't the mastermind of any of this stuff. It wasn't like he was like, stuff kind of happened. He found out. He kind of became part. So it was not like he orchestrated the whole thing.
Yeah, your father's Faison and you were mixed up with Helena. Those are two great, excuses for like people to give you some, all right, we'll let you get away from this then, because
right,
wasn't necessarily great. But yeah, now that he's threatening your boy Spinelli, no.
I know.
Now, speaking of people that have not learned from the past, which is irritating me, is the Franco and the brain tumor.
Jason, I want to know if you'll kill me. Jason looking at him like, what in the F is going on here? Like, what? I mean, it's to give him his tumor back is really weird. I'm trying to wait and judge it. I'm trying to judge it too hard until I see how they play this out. It would be interesting if he went back to his old ways. Because remember, he showed those flashbacks of those different things that happened. I'm like, oh, maybe it was him. Like, that's interesting to me. Now that part's kind of interesting to me. But to make it inoperable, it's kind of weird too, because it's like you work so hard to get Elizabeth a man. And Jason and Liz are gonna get together. Sorry, Liaison fans, they're not gonna put them together. They never do. So I wonder what the end game is.
I guess there was, the talk, and you may be dialed into this more, that Roger Howarth maybe wanted to leave the show.
I've heard that a little bit, yeah.
So whether this gives it a possible out for that, I'm not opposed to the idea. I think the thing that's really irritating me is his refusal right now to even tell Elizabeth and the boys. Like, why? Why are we doing that? That's just manufacturing unnecessary drama, and which is frustrating to me.
Plus, you got Terry, who knows also, and we had the girls' night in, and Epiphany was like, what's going on between you and Elizabeth? Okay, girl. She's like, She didn't believe any of that was going on either. Because Terry those looks like, it's like, because she knows, and it's like, really. Even though, and you go why break up Epiphany and Milo? Like, what's that all about? Like, why even? You never see him anyway, so why break them up?
I don't know. That relationship seemed weird to me anyway from the beginning.
Right, but
but also you're right. If we're not seeing them, what's the point?
It gave our girl Sonia Eddie some acting for a little bit. Just get to cry and stuff.
Yeah. So I guess in that sense, if for whatever reason they're not going to bring around the actor that plays Milo, then sure.
Yeah.
But I'm glad to see he doesn't have to be in the mob life. That his pursuit of the workout, the gyms are doing well. So
yeah, stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
I just thought it was weird, but to me again, the ladies could get together. They didn't have to make that excuse up. It could have been any kind of, they're friends. They could have got together as friends. We just want to be friends. Let's hang out together. They're all upset about the whole thing with Cyrus. That could have been their common denominator. Like they had to manufacture this breakup, and they wanted Terry and Liz in the same room so they can show that she knows something. I mean, some of these things are so obvious. It's like, okay, I get it.
Yeah, and I mean, I just don't know why the writers are going with the route of like, oh yeah, Franco's not going to want to tell Elizabeth about this. I mean, that seems to be, I guess, more like Franco's MO, that he's more reluctant to share stuff than not. But it's frustrating. You would think like that the character would learn by this point that, yeah, if I had to come forward with stuff sooner, it may have helped. But now, at this most crucial thing, I'm not going to tell them. Not going to tell them yet.
Hello, 36 people who are watching. You guys are coming in and joining us. We appreciate it very much. You guys in the chat room, Sheree R, Rotorskate Kate. You Rotorskate Kate. You really Rotorskate. Keiko Candy 1, Andy Goen, Sheree R, Haywood Wong, Michael B, John. There's a lot of folks in here. I'm so happy to see you guys in here. Kelly Public Cover, Rena Sheen, Marlon Wallace. There's a lot of folks. I mean, you guys are all in here. Thank you guys. Shannon Burge. I'm going to make sure I can see these names in here because we appreciate you. You hit that like button, folks.
Do it.
Do it. Hit that like button. Kirsten Marie. You guys are. I'm glad you guys are all talking. I mean, a lot of them are kind of agreeing with what we're agreeing. I mean, Epiphany, and Taggart. Okay.
Yeah, baby. Sure. Okay. All right. I mean, the one thing I did like about the Franco thing is that it did bring him back into a scene with Kevin, and I've always enjoyed the Kevin and Franco scenes. So, because I enjoyed John Lindstrom so much. So it was nice to be able to have a scene where Franco could say everything that he's really feeling, that he's for some reason not wanting to tell Elizabeth.
Yeah. Oh, and DT Door. Hello, Daisy Flower 40. Oh yeah, and they got Chase, and we got the whole Chase, Finn, Jackie. There's stuff going on. I mean, they had her leave again to go do an assignment. So is this going to happen for a while? She just comes and goes. Like, what's going on with Kim Delaney? Like, what's going on, folks?
Yeah, and then and it's like, oh, I'm also divorcing your father too. I'm like, huh? All right. That Dreambug Silver Fox Gregory Harrison. I guess he's coming in maybe to win her back or say goodbye. Who knows?
I know. It's like, again, you get these a name. He's a name. He was a name. He's a name. Bring him on. I hope you do him justice. And I don't know. That's kind of weird.
Now, given what we know last week that happened, we get to see that Finn and Jackie kind of talk about what happened.
Yes.
Leading up to the marriage of him and Finn's father, of her and Finn's father.
Yes.
Does this make you more certain, or like whatever, about that Finn could be Chase's father?
Everyone in chat room just put that, as you're saying that we're typing, I do now believe more Finn is Chase's. I mean, probably. The age difference is so large, so it's possible. I mean, I have a sister who's 20 years younger than me, so I mean, I basically helped raise her, so I know. I have a feeling that's his son.
But does Finn know that? I don't think Finn knows that.
I don't think Finn knows. No, I don't think Finn knows. He doesn't know.
Yeah, but like,
I know, but I mean, they are choosing to go this direction. I know, Frank. I know. They're going this direction. I don't know. I don't want this kind of storyline. I actually like them as brothers.
Yes,
funny. I don't want father son. I really don't want that.
No, that seems too weird to me now. It's like you worked so hard to get them just as brothers. And you made a really nice dynamic between the two of them. To now toss this all up in the air, just like, oh, I'm really your dad. Guess what?
Unless it's not that at all. Unless it's they had an affair and stuff, and they just find out, and Chase is weirded out about it. Maybe he's still not me. I don't know. I mean,
yeah, I don't know. But it is weird that they, for whatever reason, I'm guessing it's not Kim Delaney's schedule, but maybe storyline reasons, say they needed Jackie out of town for a little bit. Because it seems weird that you'd bring her in, and then just like after a couple episodes, like, I got to go out of town again. All right, sure.
Michael B, it is possible. Over the vacation, I'm 51 years old. My daughter just turned 33. So it is possible. I had her at 18. So it is possible to be in your 50s, have a child in your 30s. I have another daughter who'll be 32 in January. So yes, it's very possible, folks. It's very possible. They're asking me what's possible. I'm like, it's possible. It is. I'm proof of it. It's possible.
Speaking of caring about children, though, last week we saw the Nina and Sasha scenes, and Carly just wanted to just stick her nose everywhere and all about it. What did you think?
I'm not a fan of any of the storyline at all, and none of it. This whole Nina storyline, I'm not a fan of. I'm not a fan of the Sasha having lunch with Cyrus and being all drugged out and getting, you left this behind. No, I didn't, and it's drug. I mean, this storyline is so, I'm like, either kill her or change the storyline. I mean, it's so just like, I'm not even.
Yeah, and I mean, they tried to make it seem like her and Cyrus hung out that night, and so she said a bunch of stuff.
Right.
Like what really, I guess, went down between her and Chase and Willow and Michael. So, like, okay, great. So, Cyrus is not really dialed into the younger goss of Port Charles. I just,
I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to make Cyrus the omnipotent presence in Port Charles, where his tentacles are everywhere. I kind of get that because we saw it later with Portia.
Yes.
And Portia got into it, which was kind of cool, actually. I didn't mind that one so much, which led to Portia confronting Jordan and then all of it coming out, which I'm glad.
Yeah, I'm glad that somebody called Jordan out because she's been acting so weird for so long that if you didn't know about what was really going on, yes, you would want to call that out.
I mean, she did. And when she collapsed, I knew she was faking it. I knew there was something going on. I just knew it, which I don't mind. That part I didn't care so much. I was like, that's fine. And when she explained it to Kurt, and Curtis was like, what? My poor man, Donnell Turner. And so they did so. I was like, okay. He's like, now everybody knows what's going on. And they actually formulated a plan. The three of them are working together, which I kind of like it.
Agreed.
But there's this whole Taggart thing still hanging over here that's going to bite Jordan in the ass. And Curtis and Jordan. There's this whole, him being over here is still kind of like, there's just, I mean, it's going to be so interesting. Yeah. When they finally all come together. It's going to be just like, yeah.
Because I mean, especially with her and Curtis.
Right.
Yeah, there's one thing that, like, I asked you to tell me everything. That's a pretty big thing.
I know.
Not to tell me.
I know. So that's going to bite them in the ass. But right now, I like them all working together. They're going to plan this out. And does Cyrus think they're truthful? Does he see something? We don't know. They haven't given us an indication. But I like that Portia stands up to him. Because her character is kind of like, I don't know what they're doing with her character. First of all, her and Ava are kind of friendly. So they're on good terms.
Yes.
Portia and Cyrus are going back and forth. She stands up to him. So I'm like, okay, give her a little more to do. But now she's entrenched in this. So it'll be very interesting.
But yeah. I do like how Cyrus just made it seem like he was a hero. I was the one that was responsible for getting Jordan the medical attention. Like, you're in a hospital and she collapsed. I don't think it would have taken very long for anybody to come to her service there. Okay.
I know. That was a little too much for me too. But I also had to laugh earlier when TJ confronted his mother about blocking the protest.
Yeah.
I don't even know. I don't even know what's that storyline. I don't even know what about that storyline. I'm just like,
yeah. I mean, now that you're seeing Cyrus get more entrenched in other people's storylines, are you liking him as a bad guy or whatever? Do you want him around for a little while, or do you want this to be done sooner rather than later?
I think. Oh, I did, Cherie. Yes, the wine. Today's a little wine today. Thank you. That's a good question because I don't mind a good villain if done right. Like a Jerry Jacks is always kind of fun. Those are done right. A Faison was done right for a while.
How about the Zakaras?
Zakaras, same thing, like them. I don't know. I mean, it's. I guess this guy is good because he's so creepy to me. And he bugs the S out of me. So I guess that's why he's a good actor, I guess. But I don't know if I'm buying it so much. I don't know if I'm buying him. I'm not buying. I like villains. I don't know if I'm buying into him. So he's more of an annoyance to me than somebody I'm excited to see mess up things, I think.
Yeah. I mean, maybe we find out more for Curtis and Jordan going on this search and finding out who was at the address. You know, I mean, I feel like what helped with the Sicars is that it was a family, so they had their own internal dynamics. They kind of let you see them as other than just the big bad. You got to see what their internal dynamics were like. Cyrus doesn't have that yet, and you're just seeing him, other than talking to like the one like henchman that he's got that comes by. We really don't see anything else about Cyrus. So until we get that, it's tough, I think.
I know, I agree. So that's a good question. I don't know. I guess I'm just kind of, I guess lose a ponytail, I know. I'm just kind of like watching and waiting and seeing if he does something that makes me go, ooh. But right now they've kind of forced him on us. Maybe that's the point. They want us to feel like the poor Charles. We don't feel like that he's forced on them. I thought about that the other day. I go, maybe that's the point. We're supposed to feel like he's being forced on us. That's why he lurks everywhere. Like, does he ever sleep or anything or eat or anything? Like, he's everywhere. Maybe that's the point. We're supposed to feel like he's just everywhere. Like, what the F? I don't know.
All right, say Julian is leaving the show.
Okay.
And they're killing him off. I can't imagine they're going to have Sonny be the one that's killing him, because that's, that'll never happen.
Yeah, I agree.
So I feel like it's got to be Julian in one last act of trying to redeem himself by helping his family. Ends up getting killed by Cyrus or one of his goons. I feel like that's really the only way that he could go out.
I don't know. It's a good question. I mean, like you said, the walls are closing in on from several areas. So I don't think Jason and Sonny are going to kill him either. I think it could be an accident. It could be he got caught in the crosshair. I mean, it could be, I don't know.
I feel like that's a chump way to take Julian out, by just having him get caught in the crossfire.
He's a chump.
Yeah, he is a chump, but I feel like either he's got to get killed because he was a chump, and it's deliberate that, yes, you're getting killed because you were a chump and now you got to die, or he tries to redeem himself in the eyes of his family by like, I'm going to make it up to you, Sam. Make it up to you, Lucas, by doing this act of heroism that will end up killing me.
That could be it too. Like, I really don't know. I mean, because they're really inching along. I mean, I'll get points. There's suspense in this storyline. It's kind of like they keep us like every day. I keep looking at it. Even the camera angles, they like follow him walking around like it's like a handheld camera. Like he's gonna get killed, get whacked, right? I mean, the suspense is there. So I don't know. That's a good question. I don't know.
Because I feel like that's the only way you're really gonna get the kind of the conflicted feelings of remorse from Alexis, Sam, and Lucas, is if Julian went out trying to do a good thing and got killed. Because if he just went out as a chump, I feel like the scenes afterwards going to be like, yeah, I never really agreed with him, but now he's dead. Cool. I feel like you need, for the kids at least, there needs to be something to feel like, I guess in the end he tried to do the right thing, and I wish I would have seen more of that in him earlier. I would think, because otherwise it feels too easy. All the funeral scenes are only going to be Ava, the one that's like, oh, my brother.
I know. I don't know. This character, they ruined the character for the most part. I mean, I don't.
Yeah.
I can't even say much because they just haven't really. The character has not been really good for years at this point. They ruined the character after he tried to knife Alexis, and that was it. And I just felt like this is a guy who can act. This is a character who can do many things. The Jerome's have a history on General Hospital. Ava, they do great. Ava, they've written her great. This one, I don't. Maybe it's time to let him go.
I mean, speaking of Julian though, and Alexis, I mean, we have those scenes between Sam and Alexis. I mean, it's like, I guess Alexis has to hit some sort of rock bottom again, and I don't know what that's going to be. I don't know what this next rock bottom is going to be for her to want to change what she's doing. I don't either. And I was looking at it, she's like going about, oh, I'm dangerous, and you sleep with a mob stuff. I mean, I kind of love that. Sam was like, well, how do you say it? How do you say it? I started laughing. I was like, because again, whenever there's crazy or drunk or anything, there's always truth in things they say. True.
And a lot of things that she said about Sam and Sonny, it was true. I mean, it's not like, she's like, when she was like, Christina, and he goes, and we mentioned Morgan, she's not wrong. That's the point. She's not wrong. Michael and Christina have been hurt by Sonny and the whole thing. So I just thought, okay. But Sam, you're not really helping your mother. Not really. I mean, it's just like, she wants to drink. I get why Alexis drinks. I totally get why. I mean, she made it very clear why she drinks. She wants to feel good. So Yeah, go tell Molly and Christina. Maybe you guys can all do an intervention or something. I don't know, but I feel like I get where Alexis is coming from. Actually, I totally get it.
Yeah, but I mean, you also that's not. I mean, yes, you want to feel good, but that's like a short term.
You know, it is. As I'm drinking. Yeah, it is.
I mean, I've that going.
Frank.
Yeah, in my life, so I would, I would be at a loss to figure out how. I mean, right now she's not being a danger to anybody. She's just sitting at home getting her orders of
booze and pump rubber bags. I'm like, yeah. I've ordered booze before. They ain't gonna pump it. It came like in bags from the store. I don't know. That's kind of weird. But no, but I know I actually kind of like Drunk Alexis. I like Drunk Alexis. I like her, so it'd be fun. No, but she's hurting. I get that she's hurting, and so she turned to drinking. Sam, you're not gonna help her any. I mean, you're talking to her, not gonna do anything. So Sam was right to leave. You're not gonna help any. Just tell Molly and Christina. Let's say don't let your kids around her, and let her deal with whatever. Just until she hits rock bottom. That's the lesson, everybody. If anybody who's alcoholic has an addiction issue, they have to hit rock bottom first before they can actually get help. There's a lot of times that's what happens. Some folks are easier that way. Some folks aren't.
But I'm also feeling like much the same time during the initial Alexis is an alcoholic storyline, that there are certain beats of it that just dragged on for so long, and so I'm ready for the next step. And it doesn't necessarily have to be her hitting rock bottom, but are we going to reveal about something wasn't on the up and up about Neil's death? Just something to give Alexis more to do than just sitting in her house and drinking all the time.
I agree. I think right now that's the set they're using, and so we're going to use that set. And it's COVID out there, so we're going to use it, and it's easy breezy, 2-person people. That's it. We just get people walk in, walk out, walk in, walk out, and that bottle right there. I was like, okay, that's it. That's what's going on, Frank. That's what we're doing right now, I guess.
And it doesn't look like that's going to change until next year.
Not yet. That's like next year. So I don't know. I mean, Nancy Grant she's playing it. She's playing with her. She's putting her heart into it. She's playing it. With that cast on her arm, she's playing it. But I don't know. But again, we're seeing Sam not with Jason. We're seeing Sam with other people, and that part I actually kind of like.
Yes, I am totally fine with that. I just don't. I would be hard pressed to find the Jason fans now to be like, keep this going, guys. They're going great. Because I don't think putting them together is gonna solve anything.
They mishandled this whole thing. His return, they mishandled them. They mishandled them in his return. Other things they did fine, but they also mishandled the whole group. I mean, don't get me started on all that. But it was just like there's some things they had opportunity there. They didn't, for whatever reason, didn't take it. So now it's like we're stuck with what we have now. I'm trying to be polite a little bit, not be so shady on Sunday. But I'm just like, it's just kind of like here we are, face to face. No, I don't know. Nancy's father is recovered alcoholic, so she's excited for these scenes. Okay. All right. I know that.
True. We don't know everybody's life, and so
I didn't know that. So okay, that's true. Good for her. I mean, as an actress, it's good to play. I mean, we know this. To play something that's good, because Alexis really she has no real job. She has no man. Her man dead. She slept with Ned, which Olivia doesn't know. That's a whole other story too. That's a bomb waiting to go out. She feels responsible. I mean, there's a lot of things going on with her. I see why she is where she is.
I do. So, that was that. Olivia saw that bottle of vodka. Did she tell Ned? Did she tell Ned? I was like, why do you care about Ned knowing?
I know. I heard that. I was like, what? Yeah. Oh, and I was going to say, and Maxie is stuck on the Honda Star, pregnant with the 2 Alex Annas at each other.
Boy, and Anna caught up to them right quick.
Oh, first of all, when did she arrive in the Titanic? Because the boat moved. I was like, it's a big ship. So it's like, what made it move? And all of a sudden, there's Anna. So I'm like, what is she coming on? I understand that. And I'm like, what's going on? But Maxie being smart ass to her was kind of funny to Alex, and she knew something was off. And she's like, that didn't seem like her. But her being smart ass to her is kind of funny. She's like, I like your sense of humor. It's kind of like, okay. But I'm like again, it's like Anna, you don't want to be a grandmother. That's not your goal. I mean, I guess it's a contrived plot that's happening when they could have legitimately brought Alex back for a reason and really work that out. So it's just kind of, I don't know. It's just like you didn't have to make this part up, I guess.
Because it still seemed weird where it was, I came back to take your place because I've got a lot of people trying to get me. So if I'm you, the heat dies down. But then when this and she thinks she's killed Anna, so by all rights, she should be just chill living this life. But then when the stuff goes on with Finn and Maxie, it's all of a sudden, oh, we're in a boat now and we're going to be meeting some people. Like, so which plan are you going with? Was this always your intention, or are you kind of making it up on the fly? It seems kind of haphazard, whatever Alex's plan is supposed to be.
I agree. I feel like they're making it up as they go along. Like, I'll do this now. I'll do this now. I'll throw this in.
It's tough because as much as it's frustrating because as much as I don't want Anna just like weeks of her being locked up somewhere. We've already had that. And that was tiresome. There is something about seeing the Alex and Peter scenes. So I think those are tougher to achieve if Alex is locked up. I mean, I guess you have scenes of her visiting her, right. But to have Alex out and about acting as just enticing the dark side out of him would have been interesting to see, other than just this one conversation.
Yeah, I mean, again, Philly Hughes did a great job as both, and she's great. I mean, Michael B. A lot of things change. Writers change things all the time. They're like, we're Alex and Anna close to AMC and all my children. Well, things have changed since then, clearly.
Yeah,
Alex was much nicer back there too. Clearly now she's not nice anymore. So,
and I did like Anna, the super spy, when Finn is on the phone with her and Alex walks in just to hear, Finn, what's going on? Finn, what? Tell me what's going on. How about Anna? How about being quiet and just listening and figuring it out? Super spy.
I know, it's like, don't dumb her down, please. Don't dumb her down. Anna Devane we're talking about. Do not dumb her down.
Yeah. Oh, I get it now. Okay. So
the show is funny because, again, like I said, in some of these storylines, there's gems in there, and there's like parts you go, okay, there's that. But some of their journeys to get there is a little rough. You're like, that was a little contrived. You didn't have to do that. Well, that was a little unnecessary. You don't have to do that either. It's very strange.
Well, especially when they set it all up when Anna tells Robert at the warehouse, like, Alex is at the house has got Maxie and Finn. Just me and you are going to go. And then they go, which is great. And then all they find is Finn, and then Anna just abandons Robert. Like, why aren't you taking Robert with you as well? Wouldn't that be much better? So come on. Don't do my boy Robert like that.
I know. I'm not Emmy winner Tristan Rogers. I mean, come on.
That's right.
Emmy winner for Studio City. Emmy winner Tristan Rogers. I drop him there. So I don't know. But that was your week of or week and a half or so of General Hospital, because you weren't on, or 2 weeks of General Hospital, basically. Did I miss anything?
No, I mean, I feel like I'm hoping by when Thanksgiving rolls around, I feel like some of these storylines will hopefully blow up in a good way.
I agree. No, I totally agree. Also, we're in November. It used to be November sweeps. They're not really doing that anymore.
Yeah.
And COVID's throwing everything off too. So I mean, people are just kind of trying to figure this out. So I'm hoping some stuff ramps up. I need some ramp. These have been all kind of info weeks. They've been kind of like, just like, here's a little bit of this, a little bit of that, a little bit of this. You need some action. We need some real action. Like, so I said in here, move story forward. I'm ready for some story moving forward. Come on.
Yeah. I mean, because this truce has got to blow up at some point. So get ready for the mob war. I know James Lott's looking forward to a mob war.
Are you ready for a mob war? No, I'm not. Hank Williams Jr., we're not ready for a mob war. No, I do not want one. Folks, that's a Monday Night Football reference. You guys know that. No, I hate that. I just, I'll be frank, this whole time when they start doing mob stuff, I'm just like,
yes. Oh, right.
I'll come to the Frank side. Trust me. I'm not a mob. I'm not a fan of it. I'm just like, I like the other stuff. I mean, I like that he's an implied mobster. I like that it's implied. I don't need to see it.
I think my prediction by November, we're going to see some sort of slow motion action sequence that results in an explosion.
Oh, well, there you go. Yeah, Frank. Well, that's not far fetched. We had one this week too. So I mean, it's not far fetched. They like explosions. That's not far at all, Mike. Jeez. Well, you guys. 40 people were watching at one point.
All right.
Listeners like the show. Me and Frank were here. Lucretia couldn't make it. She's watching the Cowboys game. That's how Dallas Cowboys in Dallas, and she couldn't get home in time. So she's doing that. So we give a shout out to her. We shout out to Carla Renata. We love her. She's been busy. Carla Renata is busy.
Check her out on Superstore.
She's on Superstore, on NBC. So she is working it out. So, and her Curvy Critic, of course, she has that going on. So, but of course, they're always welcome to come on. And I think Frank next week got some guests with us. Another podcast called Pier 54.
Whoa!
A General Hospital podcast, and they wanted to come on. So I was like, they saw us with the Port Charles update.
All right.
So I said, sure. I said, so I think next Sunday they're coming on with us. I'm going to double check with them. So more people giving opinions about General Hospital.
They want that GH Mini Spotlight bump.
Is this the 80s? No. Not that kind of bump, sorry. Yes, they went to do it. So I again, I don't see competition. We're all in this together. You know, we're all either hating it together or loving it together. So I'm like, sure, more voices the merrier.
Yeah. As long as they realize that we're the best. I mean, that's
but we are. I mean, we're doing it the longest. they're all duplicators. We're the originator. They're duplicators. So, but no, we love them, and that's fine. We're all the same. We're all in the same universe. Everybody's laughing. I know. Yeah, we're all in the same universe. So it's all good. It's about General Hospital. But yeah, go ahead and like our the Facebook page, General Hospital Spotlights. We're on every streaming service platform you can think of. YouTube, JLJ Media. Frank, where can they find you?
Find me on Twitter and Instagram at HappyGoJackie.
That's right. And I can be found where all James Lott Jr. is sold at James Lott Jr. on all the social media platforms, including TikTok. So follow me there as I give you tips and stuff. And everyone, my Mandalorian after show is tomorrow night. We had to postpone because of the president stuff happening. So me, Ryan Nielsen, and Phil Svitek will be talking about Chapter 10. And it was a fun episode, fun action episode. It's on Disney Plus. You should check. If you like Star Wars, you should check it out. It's a great series, The Mandalorian. That's tomorrow night at 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. The three gentlemen talking Star Wars. We're going to do that tomorrow night.
Love it.
Yes, it'll be fun. Everybody, we'll see you guys again next week. We talk about General Hospital. Take care.